Hello, everyone. So I have two decks here. This one's on Trump, this one's on J.D. Vance. So I'm going to set that one aside. And I have a series of questions here. Well, I want to look at, I tried doing this in my last live stream, but I used the Kipper, and I just, kind of did it in order, and I want to see what I get with the tarot, actually. Yeah, because it looked like a betrayal and a hidden enemy and all of that. But let's see with the tarot. What do I get? What are the chain of events that lead up to the felon's downfall? What is it that happens that leads to his downfall? Right there. Okay, wow. So 5 or 6 times this last week, I just did, so I'm doing this reading on Wednesday. I just did Thursdays and Fridays, but they're not released yet. And I think the Temperance, no, it's just in one day, but that would make it like 6 times. 6 times in 1 week that he had the Temperance reversed for health. So let's just look at it from all different angles. Okay, so when Temperance comes through reversed, and this would be the forces in motion, like when it happens. Okay, what we're dealing with is, in the reverse position, is somebody that's just moving way too fast, who's just always coming in too hot and too heavy. And when it comes to health, the endocrine system is all out of balance. The homeostasis is off. It could be an incorrect dosage of something. It could be blood sugar problems, most likely like blood sugar problems that could lead to a fall. Drug interactions, but major imbalances, and could be overdoses or something. Could be a fever. It's my card for grave illnesses, blood transfusions, gout. So it very well could be something with health. If it's not, it's just that he's out of balance, maybe falls down, or it's too hot. It's not good. Things aren't working well at all. His challenge, the big challenge. Now, who would the Queen of Pentacles? Well, Ghislaine Maxwell is a Capricorn. This would have to be an earth sign woman. It's what he receives via his problem, his Ghislaine Maxwell problem. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so the chain of events. Let's just kind of go around, and I'll take the 2 off the bottom as well. Yeah. Okay. 2 off the bottom. Yep, we're due. Okay. So, chopstick time. Kitty time. Time for the kitties that like to watch. Da, 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 da. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, I need to get one that's brighter, don't I? Or go out in the garage and spray paint it with something. Anyway, okay, so he's upside down. Things aren't working well. He's having major health problems. He is walking around. It's like dead man walking with such a big health problem, a grave illness. And Ghislaine Maxwell is his biggest challenge. That's what's going on when he goes out. At the foundation of the reading, the devil reversed, is that his public persona is affecting, his health, his negative health, everybody seeing him with health problems and swollen, right? And also what he's done to women in the past. If you look at this card close, that's W is for women, and those little droplets are, I don't want to say it out loud because it's too disgusting to think of about him. But that's what this is. And not only is his bad health affecting his public persona, this is his soiled reputation. He's been just not wanting to face his own truth, and all he's been doing is gaslighting and projecting. And when the devil comes to reverse, this is also someone who's been making a lot of bad choices, and they finally, catch up with him. It's like that downward spiral of making bad choices. Yeah, it's also old age, all of that. So, okay. As Lori over at the Way of Positive Change would say, winky problems here, ED problems, that gets him down too, and he's like, grabbing more Mickey D's to fill that void, I suppose. When it comes to health, low energy, he's weighed down. There's no motivation. He's just really weighed down. And the Strength card, it could be a heart problem in there because, of course, Leo rules the heart. And now this is also J.D. Vance's card. So maybe there's a big episode and he's down, like really down, and then J.D. Vance steps in. If it's not that, this would be him, I don't know, just trying to stay in control. But all this keeps coming out. And women, there's this like infinite, we've got the lemniscate, we've got the infinity symbol above her head. And I got years ago in meditation that this card was really about evolving yourself enough to where you're unconscious well enough to be able to step aside and do the healing process work, which is what that we're managing power when it comes to this card. And all of life is nothing more than a power management issue. If we abuse our power, it's going to come back to us. And on the level of health, it just inverts the life force in a way that makes things makes your health terrible. And I don't know how he's managed to live this long. I think he just has a really strong constitution. But anyway, I'm always reminded of Carl Jung's, like one of his most famous quotes that says, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." He's never done that work. So I think the Strength card in between these two cards, with erection problems, and he does have election problems in the past too, because we all know he frickin' stole it. And, women more and more can't stand him. Even he's losing his own base because of the Ghislaine Maxwell Epstein problem. Right? And he is being haunted all over the place, everywhere he goes. He has so many hauntings, on top of the fact that he has insomnia. He's not sleeping well. He keeps falling down. He keeps tripping, going up and down the stairs. I think up mostly. But Yeah, there's some video where they cut out a little bit of him coming down the stairs. So he's tripping. He's having trouble with his. He's had that ankle foot orthosis where he's had to wear braces to keep his, and that's a sign of a stroke in the past, or at least a TIA. Where you get the foot drop, so you have to wear braces to keep your foot up, and so hence that's the reason he would trip going up the stairs of Air Force One or Marine One. So that's my 9 of Swords there for that. But this is his fears and anxiety, and he can't stop thinking about it. It's Mars in Gemini. Mars moves energy, Gemini thinks. So more and more of this that is out about the whole Epstein, his role with Epstein, whether or not he, and we know he did, but whether or not he had anything to do with it and whether or not he's implicated, he's hiding it. And that's the problem. And people don't like that. And so it's more and more of this exacerbation, of, that is exacerbating his health. So, yeah. Anything else with this 9 of Swords? I don't know. I'm just feeling like it is one of the cards of guilt. So he knows what he did. He can lie all he wants, but he knows what he did. And again, Carl Jung's quote, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you'll call it fate. So he doesn't do any of that process work to see what unconsciousness, there's just no personal process going on for him. It's a other than his downfall for us to see and him to have public humiliation. This is like the unexamined life. It's a wasted lifetime. But it's not, because it's for us. It's for us to watch him go down. Because how many of us, died in a concentration camp in the prior lifetime, or died by, the things that this kind of guy stood for in his last lifetime. We know he's been a Hitler lover. That's why he's called Shitler. And we know that. I believe, I can't prove it, but I believe that he was Mussolini in his last lifetime. How did that go for him? So with the 8 of Pentacles, so guilt here, so the chain of events is that everything is going bad. Everything more and more is coming out about Ghislaine Maxwell and Epstein and all of the girls, all of the underage, the girls, and more of them will come out and speak, and maybe we could read the Queen of Pentacles on another level, because there was that one gal, Maria Farmer. She's a blonde though, but I don't know what suns, or what sign she is, if she's a nurse sign or not, but there are others. There was the dark-haired girl as well. What's her name? Anyway, there's been 2 that I've seen. So, we can look at the meanings of the cards in other in different layers. So this could also be more women coming out about his role. So guilt, and he's regretting that. He's guilty and he's regretting that. And he can't get out from under that power, like the power of the truth. And then with this 8 of Pentacles, people are going to continue to work hard to bring out all the details. This is also my card for digestion problems and ulcers, IBS, diverticulitis. And I did get in a dream the other night that he had diverticulitis. I didn't know what it is. I had to look it up a little bit, but you guys certainly educated me on that a couple of days ago. I really appreciate it. So there's that in there, as well as all the beautiful, beautiful details, Sun in Virgo, all the perfect details that come out about what he's done in the past, right? And I mean, maybe there's even some DNA. Maybe somebody had DNA. Maybe there's something that, and just because if he did pay someone off and shut him up for a while, when they're president, all that stuff's off. That's you. I don't think that a person would get in trouble for reopening that and telling the truth. Let me know if I'm wrong on that. But now, 5 of Cups. So again, chain of events. More and more comes out. He's guilty. He's weak. It's out in the public. His bad health is affecting his persona. And then we get over here to the 5 of Cups reversed, and we're in that realm of, STDs, bladder problems, prostate, everything else, but especially that part of, that looks like his mouth. Colon problems. But it's also people coming out of denial, people accepting the fact that he's done what he's done. And I don't know if he's ever going to come out of denial and process anything that he's done. I would never hold my breath on that. But I think this is more about the details coming out, and other people are going, well, okay, we see this. This is enough. We get it. I mean, when you've got Alex Jones and Joe Rogan, Joe Rogan has 5 million followers or 5 million subscribers on his YouTube channel. I don't even know who watches Alex Jones anymore, but when those two guys come out and say what they have to say about Trump, you can bet that and even the shaman dude, the QAnon shaman. Okay, right? It's all out. And then here we are with the 2 of Cups straight up, and this could be a health problem, but it also could be the people who are out of denial now moving forward and coming together and healing. So it's more than us with the truth. It's enough of MAGA. I think he's got a 13% approval rating at this point. So there's that. And then here we are. 5 of Swords reversed is a funeral. It's a funeral. If I were to have kept going, I just had the Page of Pentacles, the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, something down into the earth. The mogul is a lunatic, and somebody else steps in. Somebody else is in charge. So, okay, let's do this. Because I already asked I have already asked, I'll not pay any attention to upright or reverse, and I'm just going to try and get some timing, but I have already asked with the Lennies before, and I did get, that was back in May, I did get that I thought that it would be around a national holiday. If it's not a national holiday, it's definitely out in public. And if it's around a national holiday, the ones that were coming up, well, the way the cards laid out, I had the garden parks and then the mice, which kind of tells me, okay, a little less than whatever this is, so it could be in between 2 holidays. And then I had the heart. And so with the heart, adding that all up, I was thinking, well, maybe it's September 1st, Labor Day, because that's the end of the summer. That's the end of the summer, I can't do that with my thumb. That's the end of the summer, and it's a holiday. It's a major national holiday. I really like October 13th for it because that would be, that's Indigenous Peoples Day. Oh, goodness. Halloween's not really a national holiday, but that would be kind of funny. And then Veterans Day, November 11th, Thanksgiving, November 27th. So let me see if I can get some timing with the tarot. Oh yeah, I remember Gail. Oh, dear viewer Gail, she emailed me saying September 29th is World Heart Day, and that last card that I had was a heart, which is usually like spring, summer. I guess you could say February Valentine's Day, but nobody wants it to be next year. But I have to go with the truth. I can't ask for what I want. So, timing. When is this going to happen? When's the funeral? Well, funeral or whatever. Stroke. Yeah, but I didn't get the Eight of Swords. That would be, like kind of being in a coma or a stroked out position where you can't move around. I got that Five of Swords. After a bunch of humiliation, which is what I've always gotten. I heard stop. Okay. So when it comes to swords, we're in weeks, but it is an autumn time. And the Ace of Swords would be, would that be the first day of autumn? That's this year, it's September 22nd. But it could be like that first week into the fall because it's the one card. The Four of Swords, I said I wasn't going to mess around with the, wow. Okay, I'm just going to stick with this. Swords are definitely autumn time. If it's the first week, if this relates to being in-state funeral thing, this could be, 3 weeks late. No, I doubt it would be that late. I don't know. But we've got, 1 week, 4 weeks, 9 weeks into the fall. Okay. That's the best I can do there. So, JD. And I did a lot of shuffling to allow for reversals with this one. Does JD Vance become POTUS? I'm open to miracles to where it's something else. I'm open to the miracle of Kamala getting back in here, like Lori was seeing, that maybe like around the August, this next month. And even if it's not the funeral, when he's out of power, would still be like in the fall with those cards. Okay. Right there. Well, JD Vance is a Leo, but this is reversed, so that's not a position of strength. This is person with, it's Trump. It's a narcissistic, psychopathic toddler that's, the predator, someone with major psychological problems. But if for JD Vance, this is exhaustion and weakness. Okay. his big challenge with the Six of Pentacles is that he's got, I don't know, maybe he has bad debts. I wonder if he does. And maybe like he doesn't really want it because there's some lack of, well, or maybe he just doesn't get it because there's a lack of reciprocity there. Maybe he doesn't get it. Okay, does he become POTUS? That's not good there. Huh. These are, wow, okay. My stomach is growling. I'm hungry. Whoa. Something stolen from him, maybe? Yeah, and fighting. The 2 5s. Fighting for it. Let's see what's at the bottom. Dream on. Doesn't know what he wants. And then again, another card that could relate to bad debt. Okay, well, so I just have to read them as I see them here. We've got weakness. Doesn't really want it. Boredom. The foundation of the reading was 7 of Cups reversed. Secrets. Reality sets in, maybe. Reality sets in about him, what it would be like to be in that position, and maybe he doesn't want it because, oh yeah, that's right, because it comes out that the election was stolen, and then he doesn't want to have to battle for it like that. And he doesn't want the brawl that's going on. What do you guys tell me that? What is it? Tarot by the Bay or the Twins or whatever. They call it the Hillbilly Brawl card. Yeah. Okay. I don't. Well, didn't he write that Hillbilly Elegy? God. Okay. So anyway, it's like he doesn't. There's not a real wanting it here, or like the reality sets in of what it would actually be like, and he doesn't like what's going on because with all this. Now, with the 9 of Pentacles reversed, this is a card for being like shady investments. So shady. It would be that it comes out. He had a hand in it, in either the demise of you know who, or the or just he's embattled because of that. We all know by then that the election was stolen. Enough of us know. Whether or not the Rockland County, New York State court hearing goes well, New York's Supreme Court hearing, whether or not it goes well, it still gets the information out there. And if the Dems and the GOP together don't do anything about the fact that our election was stolen, we're going to be carrying that around, and we're going to be demanding. I would hope enough people would demand that. God, the fact that we need paper ballots. Every state needs paper ballots, not just my state. Like mandatory paper ballots. But the chain of events here does he become POTUS? Not the chain of events. Does he become POTUS? The 6 of Swords reversed is not victory. It's the opposite of victory. This is a dude who has a little bit of a fall from grace. It's a card of failure. The Tower blows up his world, right? This is an experience that he goes through that shakes him to the core and changes his belief system, and he's shocked about it. But everywhere he goes, he gets shocked because nobody likes him. Everywhere he travels, there's always a crowd booing at him, making fun of him. So it's more of that. It's a breakdown for him. It's a disaster. It's like, lightning coming in. It's a sudden change and a downfall. They're both falling out of the tower there. The Seven of Pentacles coming through reversed is, again, failure, lack of, getting what there's no harvest. The harvest is gone. It didn't grow. What he worked so hard, what he invested all of his energy in, brought in failure. So we have 2 failure cards here. The Seven of Wands has him fighting, and he's not prepared for the fight because he doesn't even have on 2 of the same shoes. They're 2 different shoes here. He had to jump up and try to stand up for himself and protect himself, but it's not going well. And then we have the Ten of Swords reverse, where he's like literally falling he's all on his own swords. He may even have like some kind of an upper body problem that goes on. He may even have an undiagnosed neurological disorder and goes into a little bit of a seizure. But whatever happens, it might just be that he's kind of seized up inside. He's falling on his own swords. And with the Five of Swords, this is defeat. This is loss. This is humiliation. And he walks away because it's defeat. And then the King of Pentacles down here, this could be, I know like Peter Thiel, I think is he an Aquarius or a Libra? I forget. He's one of those air sign dudes, but this is like big money. This is somebody with big money, and all the big money people that have invested in J.D. Vance to put, that's going in the wrong direction. With the Knight of Swords reversed, this is somebody falling and failing, and they made really bad plans. I wonder if I'm trying to think of who the other Pentacles, King of Pentacles people are. I remember Stephen Miller and RFK Jr.'s at Capricorn, but no, I don't know who this is. I think it's just big money. I think it's just big money investments, and they've lost their money. It's a failed investment. So does he become POTUS? It doesn't look like it. And okay, let's do this a different way. All using the tarot. I'm not using the Kipper. I'm not using anything that you guys don't usually see. So you're not complaining. Why not? Okay. Why does J.D. Vance not get in? It doesn't look to me like he gets in. Why not? Right there. Because he's knucking futz. Well, okay, so the force is in motion with the moon coming through reversed is people are paranoid maybe. People are unhappy. all the confusion and the fears in the past are catching up. Yeah, maybe it's just people who are just sick of this. I mean, we've been going through the dark night of the soul. That's for sure. Maybe we see him as insane, or they see him as insane. I already do. I mean, he's just stupid and insane. And then the big challenge as to why he doesn't get in, or why he's not sworn in. And I could be wrong. We're just, I'm trying here. But there's just an overwhelming amount of, other people's life force that want this just done. And then also to read this, because it's in the challenge position, so you would read it as, or at least I do. We got to go with my rules because I'm reading. Read it as a reversal. And this is a card of delays and just being overwhelmed. And somebody who avoids responsibility, I'm wondering if he just decides, I don't want to do it. I don't want to take that on. I mean, it kind of, yeah. Paranoia, this is a card of possible delays and overwhelmed and avoiding responsibility, and that paranoia here. Okay, I won't do so many, let's just go all around here, because this is enough. Yeah. Jeez. Yeah, doesn't want that. Let's just take one off the bottom. Yeah, okay. So, I gotta make sure I don't get these decks mixed up. Hold on. Okay. So up here is like looking at the future and making decisions, trying to make good decisions with his plans. It could be like moving to a foreign country, that expansion to think of getting out to a foreign country. Nine of Swords reversed, can't sleep at night. It could be that he, when Trump goes down, he starts having nightmares and he gets depressed. I mean, we've got dark night of the soul and depression here. Maybe he starts having migraines, and yeah, maybe he's worried about his fall, that kind of a thing. The King of Pentacles reversed. Now, when this thing comes through, or this card comes through, the thing is, it's about controlling something. And there could be something that comes out about him around financial mismanagement. And it's my card for bribes. It's my card for embezzlement and Ponzi schemes and things like that. So maybe news comes out about him being bribed. And wouldn't you think it would be Peter Thiel? Or maybe the Polymarket thing, or maybe it comes out. I do need to do another reading on that, about that Palantir, which Peter Thiel is heavily invested in, along with two other guys. Was it Alex Karp, and I can't remember the other guy's name, Lonsdale or something? I don't know. Doesn't matter. But yeah, again, with these, like the why he doesn't get in is something comes out about the people investing in him. And then with the Four of Swords reversed, just overwhelmed mentally. And, it feeling like he went through a battle and didn't win. Right? Totally burned out, so restless. But these cards together are terrible, and we can see what it's about here, the bribery. And then the Queen of Wands reversed would be his lack of self-confidence. And people with better morals, will be talking about him. They wouldn't want to see that. They wouldn't want to see him in there. So people judging him, With Eight of Pentacles reversed, nobody would see that he would do a good job. And it's also, when this card comes through, this is somebody who's in a job that's very boring. So I think he's been kind of bored with his VP job, of course, but this is somebody, this card, when it comes to reverse, to me is laziness and bored to death, but you got to do it, like work just to get by. But he doesn't have to take it on. He could say no. If he did something like that, God, how long would this reading go if I read on Elf on the Shelf, as Lori calls him? Crap. Let's try this again. Does Mikey Micro Johnson get in? Does little Mikey get in? It's like an hour later. Here we are. Does Mike Johnson become POTUS? That guy could be taken out quickly with a vote of no confidence as well. If the GOP would get their crap together. And I'm very sorry, you guys, if all that was making you dizzy. That's how I allow for reversals. And then I get these comments. Can you tell it's my data, bitch? Because I'm hungry, I want to eat. I get these comments like, he didn't trust us. How do you get those reversals? How do you do it? Like I'm forcing them to line up a certain way. Okay, Mikey Johnson, Elf on the Shelf. Do you become POTUS for any length of time? What is your future after Trump goes? Or maybe you don't make it that far. Right there. Okay. Queen of Cups reversed. Well, this is his ability to emotionally manipulate. It's his codependency on everybody. He's emotionally secure. He's gullible. He's weak. He will give to get. His big challenge, boy, talk about a double reversal there, with the Queen of Swords, is a woman who would stab him in the back, who would cut a bitch, and super cold-hearted, cruel, ruthless, but gossip, maybe liars, untrustworthy people. That's his big challenge. Now, let's try it a different way. If we were looking at people that are around Trump and have been sworn in and all of that, we're talking Pam Bondi, the Queen of Swords. Oh, who would that be? I don't think he's hanging out with Laura Loomer or anybody. This could be Kamala, because she's a Libra. She's a Libra. Now, some people use the Queen of Cups for Kamala, but she's a Libra, so it's the Queen of Swords. Okay. Does he get in? My God. Wow. Huh. Could be a little bit of victory there. I don't know, though. it could be just for a short time. Okay, so, but the chain of events would be going through a major injustice. I mean, that's what happened with Kamala. The election was stolen from her. Absolutely. Yeah, so there's a lack of accountability with this card too. So that doesn't bode well for him. The Temperance card reversed is just like things aren't right. Things are not right. People don't believe in, it's Jupiter Sag mostly, but Jupiter rules Sag. People don't believe in the GOP anymore. And then the King of Swords reversed is somebody who's this is a legal person who they're intelligent, but they're dishonest and manipulative and ruthless and incompetent. This is like a tyrant, an abusive tyrant who's vengeful. Boy, okay. Now, if this is a person, the King of Swords, boy, there's a lot of them in Trump's circle. There's Kager's breath, and then there's Marco Rubio, Jerome Powell, Mikey Johnson himself, because he's an Aquarian. But so that means he'll do whatever. He'll try. The Two of Wands reversed. It's like somebody that needs to take charge, but there's a lack of planning. It's just him like just trying to mow down everyone else. But sometimes this is a card of accidents. The Five of Cups is him disappointed. He doesn't get what he wants. There's loss, there's regret, there's sadness. Loneliness. You don't get to cross that bridge and go back home when you're a guy like him. The Page of Swords is a whistleblower card. The Knight of Pentacles upright is somebody who's trustworthy and efficient. So this could be somebody that brings out information, hands it over, that movement, and it's a whistleblower. Okay, at the bottom of the deck, with the World reversed, it's not complete. There's no success here, no closure, no taking self-responsibility with either one of these cards. No, this person is not accountable, and there's no freedom here. There might be a little movement, or maybe I just had a bad card flop with this one, with the Chariot. Because the Chariot can be a victory card, like a person that willed their way in. Yeah. But, well, it's a card of, a lot of will and self-determination and, pushing yourself forward. But with all these other cards, if he does get in, it doesn't go well for him. So I think I'll just leave this here for now. And if all this plays out the way these cards look, then I'll read, if he's in, then of course we're, if Hillbilly, little Hillbilly doesn't get in and this guy does, then we're going to be asking all kinds of questions before then. So this is good enough for now. So, okay, bye. Take good care.